Good morning, guys. Happy Monday, and welcome to my 11th week of marathon training and another YouTube video. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate everyone that's watching, liking, subscribing, commenting. Start off the week, we are doing our 5-mile tempo run. I am going downtown to do this run again. If you watched my previous video, I ran down by the river, which was absolutely gorgeous, and I think it's just a great way to start my Monday, to change up my scenery and run somewhere else beside my neighborhood. So let's get going. Alrighty, 5-mile workout is done. That was really tough. I've been trying to increase my tempo pace, and it is not very fun. I was really struggling this morning, but it was nice to have some good scenery to look at. I got to explore some of the more historic neighborhoods here in Richmond, so it was beautiful, really nice to look at some of the houses. Lots of people out and about. It was close to VCU campus, so lots of students heading to school, so very lively, very fun, but the workout sucked. It was just very, very hard, but glad I did it, glad it's done, and now I can relax and enjoy the rest of the day. All right, happy Tuesday, guys. It is our easy run day. We finished with our lift this morning, and now we're just going for a chill jog around the neighborhood. We're doing 5 miles this morning. Let's get after it.
Yeah.
All right, 5 miles is done. Glad that's over. It is really, really hot outside. We are in yet another heat wave. We keep going back and forth. I feel like every other week it's like gets a little bit cooler and then it gets really hot again. So I am ready for the fall. I'm ready for it to just be nice 50 to 60 constant temperatures for a little while. But anyway, I figured this week I'd talk a little bit about the importance of recovery. So you've probably heard of the phrase, no pain, no gains. And don't get me wrong, you need to do your hard workouts, your speed runs in order to get faster and to improve. But recovery is just as important. And that's where a lot of your gains are going to actually happen. So for example, during my first marathon race build, I was really struggling through all of my runs for probably 2 or 3 weeks. I felt super heavy, even though my fitness was at its peak, and it was probably about 4 weeks out from my marathon. And it was at that point I decided, hey, I need to back off. I need a break. So I actually ended up taking like almost an entire week off of running completely. And after that week, I felt amazing. And I went into my marathon feeling super refreshed, feeling great. At the time, it was really hard for me to wrap my head around taking that much of a break. I thought I was going to lose all of my fitness and my speed, but I ended up coming back faster and feeling really, really refreshed. So it just goes to show that if you need the break, take the break. Recovery is so, so important. So this week I want to talk about 1, why recovery matters. 2, the different types of recovery. 3, how you can tell if you need more recovery. And 4, how I actually build recovery into my marathon training cycle. But for now, since I just finished my run, I need some water and a nice little snack. Alrighty guys, we are back at the track this morning for a workout. I'm doing 4x1 mile repeats. Haven't done this workout in quite a minute, so should be interesting, should be hard. Dew point on my watch says it's oppressive this morning, so perfect day for a workout. But honestly, I put off my workout last week and it just led to me thinking about it more and more throughout the week and dreading it more and more. So didn't want to put it off this morning, even though the weather's bad. And honestly, I think the humidity is supposed to be pretty bad throughout the rest of this week and next. So really no avoiding it, just need to get it done. In terms of time goal, I'm hoping to hit around like a 6:45 to 7, minute per mile pace with a 400-meter jog in between the 4-mile repeats. But we'll see how it goes. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you know I've been running pretty consistently for the last 12 years, but I don't race a lot, so I don't do a lot of track workouts, honestly. So a lot of these track workouts, are still relatively new to me. So I'm just kind of going based on feel and hoping that I can complete the workout. So let's get into it. Today, and this workout was proof that not every run is aesthetic and not every run is a good run. It was a really bad workout for me. I honestly was struggling to hold a 7:30 pace for my mile repeats, which was pretty tough, especially considering I just ran a 5-mile tempo at that pace consistently. And last week I ran my 5K time trial in like a 6:58, but it just goes to show that not every day is going to be a good day. Not every workout is going to go to plan. I'm pretty bummed, honestly, and I'm probably going to beat myself up a little bit about it today, even though I shouldn't. But we're going to move on. It's a learning experience. I haven't done this workout in a while. I will get better. Things will improve. But looking forward to my recovery day tomorrow. And speaking of recovery, I figured I'd talk a little bit about why recovery is so important. So one benefit to recovery is the performance benefit side of things. So obviously the more recovered you are, the more fresh your legs feel, the better quality workouts you'll have. You'll be able to hit your paces easier, which is kind of relevant for me today. Honestly, I may just need a little bit more recovery, and it's good that I do have my rest day tomorrow. So hopefully I'll be feeling fresh by the weekend for my long run. Another benefit to recovery is obviously injury prevention. Recovery helps your muscles repair and adapt to all of the stress that running puts on your body. And if you're not adequately recovered, this can lead to overuse injuries like IT band syndrome, shin splints, Achilles tendonitis, as well as just mental burnout. And another benefit to recovery is energy levels. When you're better recovered, your energy levels go up, you're less exhausted, even though you're training really hard. All right, guys, it is Thursday, and if you've seen my previous videos, you know Thursdays are typically my rest days. So I figured it was the perfect day to talk about the 3 main types of recovery. So the first main type is obviously your full rest days, which I am currently doing right now. Didn't run, didn't lift, didn't do any sort of high intensity workout. And essentially on these days, it allows your nervous system and your muscles to fully reset. Your full rest days are super, super important. Personally, I schedule at least 1 full rest day, sometimes 2, depending on how I'm feeling that week, every single week, even during peak training. And here's my tip. Do not feel guilty about taking your rest days. Think of your rest days as a workout for your muscles without the sweat. Your body is repairing, rebuilding, and getting stronger in the background. Now, recovery isn't just physical, it's also mental, which leads me to your second type of recovery, which is your mental recovery. Constantly pushing every single day can be really exhausting for your brain too. Mental recovery is very person dependent, so it can look different for you versus how it is for me. But for example, mental recovery can look like switching up your running routes or your routine to keep things fresh, running without a watch or music to fully reset and let yourself be present, or even taking an entire day off to do something completely non-running related. Keeping your mind fresh helps you stay consistent and keeps your burnout far, far away. And finally, the third type of recovery is your active recovery. So this is essentially any sort of light movement that helps to support your runs without adding any extra intensity. And this can mean a 10 to 15 minute walk after your long run before you sit down, hopping on a bike or going for an easy swim the day after a long run, or even foam rolling, dynamic stretching, or even some light yoga. This form of recovery is really important because it helps to prevent your muscles from locking up and helps to flush out lactic acid so you feel ready to go sooner. And this type of recovery is especially key after your long runs. It's really easy to just want to lay on the couch all day after you've done a 15 or 16 mile long run, but in reality, that can actually hurt you more than help you. It seems like it's the right response to a hard workout, but the better thing to do would be to spend a little time resting on the couch and then go for a walk, get a good stretch in. That will really help your muscles and your legs feel better the next day. And one last little bonus type of recovery is the thing that runners love to hate, and that's tapering. This is when you intentionally cut back on your training weeks before a big race. The reason why tapering is so important is that it fully allows your body to rest and repair. A lot of people get very nervous with this, thinking that they're going to lose all their fitness or that they're being lazy, but that is not the case at all. Tapering allows you to arrive at the start line with your muscles fresh, your energy tank full, and your mind ready to go. A good taper can make the difference between feeling super sluggish on race day and feeling like you've never been faster. Good morning, guys. It is Friday. We just got back from the gym, did an upper body session, and now we are doing a 4-mile easy run. Let's do it. Alrighty, 4 miles is done. It is super gross out this morning. The last couple days, the heat and humidity has been up there again. Last week was such a tease with like the nice weather, cooler temps, lower humidity. But happy it's done. Hopefully tomorrow morning for the long run, it'll be a little bit cooler. We'll see. But it is what it is, I guess. Time for some breakfast. Alrighty guys, I have my 15-mile long run tomorrow, so I'm just starting to prepare for that. I'm doing just a little bit of light stretching, some foam rolling this afternoon, and enjoying a nice little cup of joe. So yummy. But while I did that, I figured I'd talk a little bit about how to know if you're getting enough recovery, because your body definitely has a way of telling you if you're paying attention. So if you're dealing with persistent soreness that doesn't seem to go away, if your paces are getting slower even though the effort remains the same, or if you're feeling more irritable, unmotivated, or even snapping at people for no reason, that's your body waving a big red flag. And let's not forget the importance of good sleep. If you're tossing and turning or waking up feeling even more tired, it's often a sign that you're not fully recovering between your workouts. Bottom line is listen to your body. Your training plan is a guide and doesn't have to be a strict rule. If you need an extra rest day, just take it. Skipping one run or workout here and there to recover is not falling behind. It's actually showing up stronger for the next one. All right, it's Saturday, which means it's our long run day. I'm doing 15 miles this morning. We're exploring a new part of the Capitol Trail, so should be fun. Let's get it done. Whew, all right, that was a really tough run. But we did it, 15 miles. It's already 77 degrees out, so it was a freaking hot one. Very humid this morning too. I think it was like 92% when we started. And of course now that I'm back at my car, there's cloud cover. When the whole second half of my run was direct sun on my neck and my back, so it was tough, but happy it's done. Now time to go get a Gatorade from the gas station because I really need one this morning. Good morning. It is Sunday. Normally Sunday mornings I'll go to the gym early, typically around 6 a.m. But I decided to switch things up this Sunday and go for my run first and then do a little bit of an at-home lift just because I do have to hit legs today, and after running 15 yesterday and then also having a recovery run this morning, I didn't want to do legs and then have to go run again. So figured I'd do the run first, while the legs are maybe a little bit more fresh, and then I'll do a lift later this afternoon. I do have dumbbells and everything here, so I'm just gonna do it at home today. But yeah, I'm running 5 miles easy this morning. It actually feels a little bit nicer, maybe a little less humid than it did yesterday, which is awesome. So let's get after it. All right, 5 miles easy is done. Actually did feel a lot nicer this morning than it did yesterday morning, humidity wise. I'm like still dripping, but I feel like there was like a nice cooler breeze. Felt a lot more manageable this morning. So I figured I'd talk a little bit about how I personally build recovery into my training plan. One thing that really helps is that I'm very structured with my training plan. I make sure I write everything out. I have everything that I want to do for each day, which really helps hold me accountable. I run a recovery or easy run 3 times a week, and I typically space them in between my harder workouts and my long runs. So the days I have my recovery run scheduled are Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. So Tuesdays is right in between my tempo and my speed workout runs to give myself a little bit of a break before moving into another hard workout. I always do a recovery run right before my long run so that I can shake out my legs a little bit, get the blood flowing a little bit. And my Sunday runs tend to be pretty hard because after I just ran 15 miles yesterday, my legs are a little bit more sore, but I actually find that light, easier running helps reduce that soreness. And if you've seen my previous video, it does really teach you how to run on tired legs. And then I always schedule my rest days for Thursdays. I feel like that's a good day for me to have a break, only because I've kind of gone pretty hard from Saturday doing my long run, and then 2 workouts. So it's nice to have a little bit of a break right before going into another long run. So that's what works for me. I do think it is important to break up your harder runs with your recovery runs so that you're not running like 3 really tough runs in a row and you can get the most bang for your buck out of your workouts. And then in terms of other recovery, I try and do some sort of stretching, foam rolling. Now, I'm not going to lie, I get kind of lazy with this and tend to put this off, but I do try to really heavily prioritize it on especially my long run days and my workout days. All right, now it's time to get me some breakfast and a nice cold drink. Alrighty guys, I figured the last thing I'd talk about in this week's video was the specific recovery tools that I personally love to use. Now, none of this is sponsored. These are just tools that I've found over the years that have really helped me recover. So the first thing I want to talk about is a good old foam roller. I think I just got this on Amazon. Works really great to roll out the big muscles in your legs, especially your thighs, your hamstrings, and your calves. Another item that I really love to use is this massage gun. This is just a generic gun from Amazon, but it works great, especially to get the weird muscles. Like I carry like a lot of tension in my traps, so it works great on like the upper arms and back, as well as like the upper butt muscles. This is a great tool, especially if you're a little lazy and don't want to do like a full foam rolling stretching. Just using this to massage out some of your muscles. Very simple, very easy to use. Another great tool I love is just like this hard, almost like lacrosse ball. This is great to roll out the bottom of the foot and get some of those like really small muscles, hit your arch really nicely. And then last but not least, one of my favorite tools to use is this crazy torture device looking thing. It's from a company called Roll Recovery. I will link this in my description if you want to check it out. But this is probably the most intense massage recovery tool that I own. It's definitely for deeper tissue massage. It can be a little bit more painful than the other tools I just showed, because it basically like is like a clamp device. So essentially you're clamping it around your leg and rolling it. So it's definitely a lot more intense, but I actually love this thing. It really, really hits my muscles really nicely. And while it's painful in the moment, it feels so good afterward. But anyway, the rest of the day, I'm going to do some meal prepping, some editing, get in a little bit of a lift. But as per usual, I hope this video was helpful and you learned something. And if you have any other ideas for videos, please drop them in the comments below. I appreciate it. Bye.